Hello everyone, this is Ram Boyapati here. Welcome to Microsoft Business Intelligence 12.0 introductory session today. I'm an IT professional with 10 plus years of experience in multiple technologies and working on multiple projects. I will be the instructor for this course and I'm very happy to help you to understand what is MSBI and how this MSBI is going to help to your career. Let me move out to our agenda. What are the content we are going to discuss in our day-to-day session? How this session is going to help you. And we are going to provide daily live interactive classes by the trainer and the class recordings can access from eClassera LMSs and we are providing the flexibility to attend the class in any batch. And also to get the command about this course, we are giving the assignments and real-time projects. And we are providing some plenty of scenario-based interview questions and the detailed explanation about the every question. And we are giving the job supporting after the completion of the training as well and a step-by-step installation of the software by the admin team on the individual learner machine. So MSBI, the MSBI having three modules. One is SQL Server Integration Services. This is an ETL tool and SSAS SQL Server Analysis Services. This is an OLAP tool. And the last one is SSRS SQL Server Reporting Services. This is a reporting tool. In the further discussion, we are going to discuss more detail about these three modules. What is SSIS, what is ETL, what is overlap, and what is the reporting tool SSRS. So before we are going to discuss about these three modules, we have to know about the what is MSBI, how it is going to help to your career. So MSBI means a Microsoft Business Intelligence tool. What do you mean by business intelligence? We know very well about the Microsoft. And what about the business intelligence? Right. So let me take a scenario. You have a business and you are the CEO of this business. You have recently started a business, and when you are starting your business, you have only one branch or one store in a particular location. As a human mind, you can easily maintain your business. What is the profit? What is the sales? What is the expenditure about your business? After 1 year or 2 years, if you have a more number of outlets, if you're opening in multiple locations, so as a human mind, is it possible to maintain all the branches, all the different kind of businesses as a single person? So definitely it is difficult to understand about your business without having any proper business intelligence system. So that is the reason what we are going to do here. In each and every branch, what we are going to do here, we are going to implement some OLTP systems. What is a OLTP? It's a online transactional processing systems. Whatever the data is coming live, we are going to track and keep inside our source systems. So the source system, it may be anything. Either it is a SQL server, or you can maintain in a Excel or a text file, or it is a Oracle, any other kind of data sources you can use to store the data in each branch. So now the data is in different locations and in different formats. Then if you want to know what is the sales of your business in a particular day, so how you are going to querying the data, how you are going to reporting the data, definitely it is difficult, because the data is not in one place and the data is not in a unique format. So that is the reason what we are going to do here. Whatever the data you have, whatever the data is in a different formats in your different data sources, we are going to do some ETL process. What do you mean by ETL? We are extracting this data from the different data sources, and we are going to apply some transformations. What is the usage of the transformations? The data you have stored in your source systems is not well formatted. It is a raw data. So the data whatever you have in your source systems, before you are going to load the data into your target system, you have to clean up the data. The cleaning is nothing but, for example, if this particular location people, the location name they are going to keep like a Hyderabad. These people they are entering the location name as HYD. So when you are going to keep this location information in a single column, you have to put either in Hyderabad, either HYD. So unique format you have to maintain. And also the transaction date. The first branch people in this SQL source, they were maintaining like a date, month, year format. But in the second source, that is date, month, year format. So when you are going to keep and load this data into your target system, you have to format into unique key. Either it is month, date, year, or date, month, year format. By applying some transformations, we are doing this ETL process: extraction, transformation, loading the data into our target system. So our target system is nothing but a SQL server, because we are going to use our Microsoft Business Intelligence tool. So the Microsoft having a RDBMS system, that is nothing but a SQL server. If you want to maintain, if you want to load the data into any kind of target, either it is Oracle, either it is DB2, yes, you can load the data into any kind of data RDBMS systems. But 99% is in any projects, wherever the clients are going to use Microsoft Business Intelligence tool, they are going to use SQL Server only, right? So after you are loading your OLTP data, whatever the customer's information, whenever the customer is coming to your store, when the customer is purchasing something, whatever the transactions are happening, so in your business hours, for example, your business hours are early morning 8 a.m. to evening 11 p.m. So in that business hours, whatever the business is happening, whatever the transactions are happening, the customer name, the transaction date, how many quantity, and what are the products, and the total amount. So this transaction information in the non-business hours, we are going to do the ETL process into our SQL Server data warehousing. So what do you mean by a data warehousing? wherever you are going to keep a lot of years of historical information. So that is nothing but a data warehousing. You know very well, nowadays the data is very important. So whatever the transactions are happening daily, those transactional information and also the previous historical data also we are going to keep and store into our data warehousing as per our business requirement. So after you are doing this ETL process, if you want to do this ETL process, what is the module and what is the tool we are going to use in our MSBI? That is nothing but SQL Server Integration Services. The SQL Server Integration Services is a ETL tool, and this tool is going to help to you to load the data from a different kind of data sources into our target system SQL Server. This is a pure ETL tool, and the competitors for this SSIS in the market is Informatica is also one kind of ETL tool, and data stage, that is also one competitor for SQL Server Integration Services, and ODA Oracle Data Integrator. These are the three different ETL tools competitors for the SSIS. So by using this SSIS, after you are loading the data into your SQL Server data warehousing, on the top of the SQL Server data warehousing, we are going to design a cube database. So this cube database is nothing but OLAP system, online analytical processing system. So what is the need we are going to create this cube database? Already we have a SQL Server data warehousing database. Then why we are going to create a cube database? The reason to create this cube database is the cube database is a three-dimensional multi-dimensional database, and the way it is going to store the data and the way it is going to process the data is a bit faster than our normal SQL Server data warehousing. So whenever you are going to store the data into your cube database, it will automatically aggregating the data, the possible aggregations of the data it is going to store into the cube database. What is the usage if you are storing the aggregated data? Normally in our reporting, what kind of reports we are going to design and what kind of data we are going to display in the reporting tools. I want to see each year wise what is the sales amount. In our SQL Server data warehousing, the data is going to store like each date wise what are the transactions. So when you are going to display the data into your reporting tool, so you have to write down a SQL query. So the SQL query is going to aggregate the data when it is going to process the query. So it will take some time to process and to aggregate the data. So instead of to waste the processing time, we are going to keep the aggregated and summarized information into our cube database. So when you are going to reporting the data from the cube database, so the already the automatically aggregated data stored in your cube database. Once you are requesting for the data from this cube database, it will process very fastly into your reporting tool. So that is the advantage of the cube database. This is a online analytical processing tool, and to design this cube database, the tool we are going to use is SQL Server Analysis Services. And in these SQL Server Analysis Services, we have two models. One is a multi-dimensional model and the second one is tabular model. So this tabular model was introduced in the 2012 version. And after you are loading the data from your SQL Server data warehousing to cube database, so from this cube database you can design the reports by using SQL Server reporting services tool. So instead of taking the data from a cube database, you can take the data directly from the SQL Server data warehousing as well to design the reports. The reports you can design like ad hoc reports and a statistical and traditional reportings, and you can design the dashboards as well by using SQL Server reporting tool. So the advantage of taking this cube database when compared to this SQL Server normal data warehousing is, so it will give more processing speed. But so to take the data as a data source for this reporting, if you are taking data warehousing, then the query you have to write down the language SQL language. But when you are going to take the data from the cube database, the language we have to use is MDX, multi-dimensional expression language. So in this way, whatever you have stored in your data source systems for your business data, we are doing the ETL process and we are cleaning the data and we are storing the data as per your business requirement. And whatever the data you have stored in your data warehousing, if you are keeping this data ideally, there is no use. So what you have to do, the data you have to consume and you have to visualize like a reports, right? So whatever the reports you have designed over here, so by using that reports, the client will take the decisions about his business. So one simple example like for example, so you have an ice cream parlor businesses. So based on the trends in each month, so how your business is growing and how your business is getting lost. For example, it's ice cream is a seasonal business, so in which month our business profits are getting more and sales is getting more, in which months we are getting less. Obviously in the winter season the business is coming down. So based on that you can take the decision about your production. So the main goal of this business intelligence is to understand about your business and to identify the problem in your business and to take the better decisions about your business. So to do this and to implement this business intelligence to your business, you have to use the Microsoft business intelligence tool. By using this tool you can implement a complete set of business intelligence. So when you are going to compare this business intelligence tool with some other tools, and why we need to choose this MSBI is the better to for your career, because so if you are learning this MSBI having three modules: SSIS, SSRS and SSAS. So SSIS is a ETL tool. If you are learning this ETL tool, then you can learn any kind of ETL tool within 1 week. And the reporting tool also you are going to learn under this MSBA, and lab tool as well, SSAS. So if you are going to any other tools, so you have to learn separately each tool. What are the reporting tools we have in the market and competitors for this SSRS? So the reporting tools and the competitors for this SSRS is MicroStrategy, OBIE, Cognos. These are the competitors for SQL Server reporting services in the market. So if you are choosing this MSBI is our career, then you can switch to any technology after 4 years or 5 years. It's very easy to learn other technologies like Informatica, like OBIE or MicroStrategy, any kind of reporting tool. And also why the clients are using more this MSBA, the reason is the license cost for this Microsoft business intelligence is 4 times lesser than when you are comparing with other technologies. So if you want to implement the same business intelligence by using other tools, they have to purchase Oracle database separately and any ETL tool separately and any reporting tool separately. So they need to pay the license cost for each one separately. If you are using MSBI, so if you are purchasing SQL Server as then you no need to pay anything for the MSBI. SSIS, SSRS and SSAS license you will get along with the SQL Server. Let me go to what are the contents we are going to discuss in this training. So the first thing we are going to discuss is introduction to the SQL Server basics. So what is the SQL and what are the versions and what is the history and the basic SQL about what are the DML commands and what is the DDL commands we have in the SQL Server and what is a SQL Server Management Studio and how it is going to help to you how to interact with the SQL Server Management Studio and how to use the SQL Server Management Studio and what are the different components we have in the SQL Server. So this is just introduction about the SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio. And so now we are jumping into our actual MSBA, and before we are going to discuss about our MSBA 3 modules, we have to know about the data warehousing, and we have to know about the data warehousing concept as well. What is a data warehousing, OLTP versus OLAP systems, and what is a data mart, and what are the different schemas we have: star schema, snowflake schema, and so what are the dimension tables and fact tables, and what are the approaches, Kimball approaches, top to bottom to approaches, how they are going to design the star schema and snowflake schema in the data warehousing. And then we are going to move to our SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. So the main things we have to discuss in the SQL Server Integration Services is what are the control flow and data flow, and what are the tasks and transformations we have in the control flow as well data flow, and what are the containers we are going to use. And the main important thing in the SSIS is slowly changing dimensions. What are the different kind of slowly changing dimensions we have, and what is the checkpoints and logging. So logging is nothing but how you are going to record how your SSIS package is going to execute and how you are going to handle the errors, and the error handling concept we are covering under the logging and configurations. So how we are going to maintain the configurations and how we are going to give the connection information. So these things we are going to cover in the configuration section, and package level and project level parameters as well. And after you are designing your SSIS packages, how you are going to deploy these SSIS packages, and the main important thing is the performance tuning about your SSIS packages, and what are the different kind of data loadings we have in the SSIS. The main important thing is incremental loading and how you are going to load dimension tables and fact tables as well, and the security things in SSIS, and the final thing is how you are going to create the jobs and scheduling the SSIS packages. So this is the roadmap to learn SSIS, like what are the tasks and transformations and how you are going to design, and what are the different kind of loadings, and so the production and configuration, logging, and scheduling the jobs. So these are the main things we are going to discuss inside the SSIS. And coming to SSRS part, so introduction to SSRS and what are the report items we have, and how we are going to design each and everything in the SSRS, and how to deploy the reports, security things, and subscriptions, how to deliver, how to improve the reports performance by applying caching and snapshot options, and what is a report manager and what is a report server. All these kind of things we are going to discuss in the SSRS part. Then coming to SSAS. So under this SSAS, what is data warehousing, and how we are going to design the schema inside the SSAS, and what are the different kind of dimensions, star schema, snowflake schema, and how to create a cube, and what are the different kind of storage modes and cube security, partitions and calculations, perspectives and translations, and how we are going to deploy our cube, and how we are going to processing our cube, and the basic MDXs, and how we are going to design our SSRS reports by using our SSAS cube as a data source. And we are also giving a complementary like a Power BI. This is a visualization tool coming from the Microsoft, and how we are going to design reports in the Power BI by using the data source as your cube database. And this Power BI is a new visualization cloud-based tool coming from the Microsoft. This is a competitor for the Tableau reporting tool. So in this course, we are going to cover some SQL Server introduction part, and data warehousing, and SSIS and SSRS and SSAS. So this is the end of our Microsoft Business Intelligence demonstration. So if you have any questions, you can post the questions in the comment section. Give we will provide more answers to your questions, and we will clarify the things. And thanks for watching this video. Thank you so much.